Africa makes a semi-final always buys him.
He was the first nigga.
No.
Said man, away from the games. There's a
I'm
game.
a real hater like that.
You guys are gonna ride Messi there, but like guys, the man can only do so much.
Yo, my brothers, my sisters, and my ballers. Welcome back to another match day of What's Football Without Fans with your favorite social football analyst, Tepiso PT, aka Tebzoro. To the ballers passing by, I hope you like what you see because I surely like what I do. And make sure to join the returning ballers who continue to show me gang love and appreciation by liking, commenting, as well as to subscribe. The World Cup is upon us, my ballers, kicking off on Thursday with the opening game being Mexico versus SA. But we're going to focus on the favorites, France, Brazil, and Portugal for this one. As you know, I'm not alone. I have Younger with me on my left. Welcome back, my brother.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me, man.
Good. With Bradley as well, back on the pod.
Feeling a bit nervous, but yeah.
You've changed shirts today. Once upon a time, you wore a Liverpool one after winning the title. Then you came with Pirates, and now they've also won the title. How do you feel?
No, it's a World Cup edition, so I thought, you know what, I support my home country, or my second home country.
Your second home
My
country.
second home country, yeah.
And then a newcomer with us, a new baller to the family. Carl, welcome to What's Football Without Fans. Great to have you. How are you feeling?
No, thanks for having me, man. I'm a bit nervous. Camera shy.
Camera shy.
But if it's football, I think then we can talk.
All right, let's kick things off with speaking on a team that has a player who polarizes football opinions. We don't even know if he'll play. Brazil, Neymar, poster boy, the Brazilian prince. Will he even play at this World Cup?
I think he's gonna play, but maybe not in the first, not in the group stages.
Uh-huh.
Maybe if things get tough. I mean, we're playing against Morocco. First
True.
game might not be easy, you know. But he's there, and we're gonna do it for him. They're gonna do it for him.
They're going to do it for him.
They're gonna take it home for him. But you see, this Brazil team is very different from our past, you know, where we had like 6 match winners in that team, you know, like individuals who can
Yeah.
take a game at the scruff of the neck and just, you
There's
know.
a Ronaldo, there's a
just-
Rivaldo, there's a Ronaldinho, there's Adriano.
But this one's more
Yeah.
structured. It's going to be more of a team effort. We do have individual brilliance. And I think Vini, not the best of seasons at Real Madrid, you know, but because of a certain selfish individual. But watch him now.
Watch him now without
Watch him now.
Mbappe. Being the selfish individual who we didn't want to say a name for. How do you see the front three being set up?
For Brazil,
Yeah.
it's a tricky one. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking from a striking perspective. I'm not too sure who they go with. Do you go with the youngster Endrick, who is an out-and-out striker, but maybe from an experience perspective, maybe you still want to kind of like, you know, slowly integrate him into such a World Cup stage? Or do you go with Cunha, who doesn't really seem to be phased by any phase of football? Wherever he plays, he just seems to do what he needs to do. So I would think off the top of my head, Estevar's not going, no?
Yeah, he's not
He's
there.
not going. So I think off the top of my head, I would say Endrick will probably start as the 9, based on what I saw in the last friendly.
With his goal again against Egypt.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna have a surprise with the Zenit boy on the right as well. Ancelotti likes to just mix things up a bit. Yeah, change things up a bit. And is he gonna play with the 3 though? Because Ancelotti's been a 4-4-2 coach throughout his career.
True,
so
good point. That is a good
that's also
point.
another part that might be tricky. So I'm gonna go with the 4-4-2 rather instead, and I think he'd start with Cunha and Endrick as his front 2.
Do you see him changing things with potentially facing teams like Haiti and Scotland in the group stages, having someone like, as Brady just mentioned, you have strikers like Endrick and Cunha
And
who
Thiago
move with
as
things,
well.
but then there's a Thiago
I'm
who's
a big
totally
fan.
different.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think because of the World Cup and how it's structured, I think, you know, it's like almost with the Champions League where it's called the Champions League, but you've got teams that finish 4, 5, 6 in their own respective leagues. I think there's an allowance almost for the big teams to put their foot off the gas in the first couple of games in the group stages, because even third place qualifiers, I think 8 third place teams make it out of the group.
Sure.
So the format changes things and it makes things very easier for the big teams. That's why I think a Lamine can take a break. All these players that may not be fit, and Neymar can be off. So I think in the early games, maybe the Morocco one might be the big one. Get the one out of the way, play your strongest team. I think they'll go with the 3 up front. I think it will play Vinicius on the left. I think Rafinha has to play on the right. And in the middle, it's really a toss of the coin. I can see Endrick starting. I can see Cunha going. But I want to see Thiago in. He brings a different dimension, the physicality of it all. I think he will be best suited to play as a 9 for Brazil.
Obviously, there's a new country as a host in Canada. Mexico has hosted before. Brazil has won in Mexico. America has hosted before. Brazil has won in America.
Yeah.
The conditions in the Americas will be hot. How do you see Brazil acclimatizing to those conditions?
They're from South America, Brazil, right?
It's normal to them.
But it's normal to them, I would like to
Yeah.
think. Even though a bulk of their squad doesn't necessarily play in those conditions throughout the year, I don't see them struggling that much. Speaking from my own personal experience, I come from a province that's very, very hot. And when I'm here in Gauteng here, it wasn't as hot as what it would be. But when I went back home, as long as I was fit, I never really struggled to deal with the weather that side. It was just that thing of, okay, with this period here, you'd probably drink water a bit more than you would.
Yeah.
And you probably pace yourself a bit better than what you would when you're this side here, because you're trying to gear up and get warmer when you're in this type of weather. So I think they'll be fine, just because they come from that type of weather, whether they play in it every day or not. Yeah.
Yeah, selections like Fabinho as well, coming from Saudi
Saudi,
Arabia with
yeah.
those hot
Very
conditions.
well
He
said,
should
very well said.
acclimatize easily to that.
Very
Moving
well
on
said.
to the defense, obviously there's no more Thiago Silva. Gabriel's looked at the man to partner Marquinhos. You have Brema, you have Ibane, who also plays in Saudi Arabia. How will that defense all come together? Danilo, experience Alexandro. If the goals aren't working out, can the defense actually stop goals from coming in?
So that's my one worry, especially left back and right back. I think Brazil hasn't had a world-class left back and right back after Dani Alves and Marcelo.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of our problems. Then also, again, we question, is Marquinhos better than Brema?
Okay.
I know that
Question mark.
Marquinhos might be the
Question
captain,
mark.
no?
Yeah.
He might be the
highly
captain,
likely, yeah.
but he's getting old, you know. He's getting slow. Gabriel has to play. I mean, he's arguably the best centre back in the world at the moment.
100%.
Arguably.
Arguably, yeah. Not my type. I'm a centre back myself. Not my type of centre back. But maybe it's because of the team that he plays for also. But,
Shots are being fired. That's fine.
Unnecessary.
but I am worried about the defense.
A shot under the bar
Because I
rather than
see-
over the bar.
Oh, nah. it's
I
too
see
soon,
at right
brother.
back, I think it's Wesley,
Yeah.
the one
From Roma.
Yes.
From Roma.
Yeah.
Left back, Sandro.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know when's the last time I saw him.
Play football.
I saw him play football.
They are lacking at the back. But I think, like you were saying earlier, Brazil are not that same expansive team that we used to watching.
Yeah.
I think because Ancelotti's coach, I think we're going to see a lot more pragmatism. So because of that, because their defense is lacking, I think it might not be too much of an issue. I think they probably will be far more pragmatic than we think.
And if you
It's
play-
not going to be
and
the
if
most entertaining Brazil we watch.
And if he plays in a 4-3-3 as you alluded to earlier, then you've got Casemiro, Fabinho, and Bruno, who I believe will be able to give enough cover. They're not going to give the creativity per se. Bruno probably a bit better than the other two, but then you've got people who know how to stabilize the midfield, who know how to keep a game at 0-0 for as long
100%.
as, and giving one of the front three an opportunity to just create that
100%.
bit of magic up there. And then also in goals, if he plays, he's also very injury prone these past few years. But Alisson gives you that
Big question as well.
He gives you a big edge. I feel it's in those games like
Especially one-on-one.
Yeah, one-on-one. It's in those games of Morocco where you think, okay, it's gonna take something special here. He gives you something special at the back, and then you get something special up top, and you can win a game like that 1-0. So
That's well said.
there's a lot of question marks with regards to how they're going to look from a defensive perspective. But they've got players who can, surprise you, such as your Sandro's dead left back, even though we haven't seen him in a while. Yeah.
Many unanswered questions, but we'll wait to see how that unfolds in moving to another team with a player maybe having his last dance, or as we saw with the recent Nike advert, the GOAT saying goodbye. Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo, front man, leading the line. Who else do they look to if not him?
I hate the fact that I'm always talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. However, I will say this. I think Portugal, if not France, I think Portugal win the World Cup. And that only happens, I believe, if Cristiano Ronaldo understands his role. He cannot be the main man. He cannot be the star player. He cannot be the guy that everybody looks to. He cannot be taking free kicks. He cannot be that guy anymore. It's not about him. Yes, it's his last dance. And for the career that he's had, he deserves to win a World Cup. But for Portugal to win it, I think everybody needs to understand their role, more especially him. He's the captain, he's the leader, and that doesn't mean that he needs to be on the pitch to do what he needs to do. I think Portugal have the best midfield quartet. I think they have great players in defense. It's such a good team. It's such a good team. But I think they're very exceptional in a lot of areas. And I think for everything to work out as it should, I just think Cristiano needs to understand his role.
I got my guy here on the side here when it comes to the back line.
Okay.
And I'm not getting it because, as I said at the beginning before we even jumped onto the show, there's not a team that you can put out there, any national team right now, where if you look at the defensive structure of the team, none of them, where you can say, they are 100% ready. They're going to be a brick wall from keeper to the back four. If you can, even
Apart
think
from
of,
Portugal.
not necessarily apart from Portugal, but it's to that level whereby it's so balanced throughout the teams that
Very well balanced,
having
yeah.
two players that are good enough or with the keeper is what's happening throughout the tournament. There's not a single team that's going to put up a back five. I'm including the goalkeeper in this, where you have this thing of, okay, I'm comfortable with this back five. They can do something. And so Portugal are in a situation like that as well, whereby you've got a player like such as Mendes at left back there.
Yeah.
He's an anomaly in terms of the left backs within this tournament.
Yeah.
He's going to give you both the defensive part and out of nowhere can give you the goal as well.
nowhere,
Out of
indeed.
nowhere indeed can give you the goal as well. So when I look across the entire World Cup in terms of all the teams that are there, from the big hitters that is, I don't see any team, neither Argentina, not even England, with their defensive choosing that they've gone with. I can't think of Spain. I can't think of a team right now that has a back five where when they put them out there, I'm like, hey, I don't know how we get through this team here. So based on that, when you then think of your Ruben Diaz, I don't know how Vega will perform in this one here, and then you think
Vega doesn't start.
I think for me, for Portugal, it comes to the right back position where I'm a bit concerned.
That's why.
100%,
Yeah,
yes,
where
yes,
I'm a
yes.
bit concerned.
Yeah.
So I'm going. So my thing is right back, Cancelo or Dalot, no?
And I feel like it depends on the team you play
The team
against.
you're playing against.
Well,
yes.
For you to start
Yes.
Cancelo
Yes.
or
And
And
Dalot.
then Ruben Diaz, has he been in his best form of late? Because he's going to have to lead that defense.
Without a doubt.
And then he's going to play with Minacio Miguel from Sporting.
Potentially. Oh, you see him starting over
Yeah.
Rene,
He has been
Renato
starting.
Vega.
Yeah, he will start. Yeah, he will start.
He'll definitely start over Vega. And then that's where my questions come in. But then again, I think a lot of pressure will be taken off their defense because they'll probably have the ball most of the time. I mean, you've got Vitinha, you've got your João Neves, you've got
Bruno.
the big man
Fernandes,
Bruno, you know,
Bernardo
he's
Silva.
there.
Eish.
But
A whole host of names of quality only.
but
Even
then,
Ruben from Al Hilal
but then
is-
when you look at that, them having the ball, what happens when they go 1-0 down? I mean, it
That
happened.
is my biggest question, literally,
It
with
happened.
Portugal.
2022, Morocco 1-0. They had the ball. They just could not score.
I think it goes back to his point at the beginning of the show, whereby I think everything that's happened with Portugal over the last 4 years has always been because of Cristiano, the Cristiano factor.
Yeah.
If you go back to that Morocco game, they
Yeah.
tried to play to his strengths. They try to get the
they're
ball out
whipping
wide,
crosses.
Put it in the
whipping
box.
crosses, get the ball wide, whipping crosses, but he's not the same animal in the boxes that he was. If it lands where he is, chances are he can bury it.
Without
But
a
the
doubt,
ability
yeah.
of his to leap beyond the defender, push back two defenders, he doesn't have that anymore. It needs to reach him at his feet. And so I think in this perspective, you've got Bruno Fernandes who comes off his greatest creativity season in terms
Yeah,
of
what season,
creativity.
yeah.
You've got Bernardo Silva who's playing. We would like to argue for a new contract because he paused
Okay.
talks. He paused
Yeah.
talks to beyond that thing. You've
So-
got Vitinha who knows how to be a box entry midfielder.
Correct.
Like there's different elements of the
So-
team this year that
Also, I think we're forgetting that João Felix had an amazing season in
in Saudi.
Saudi. So I think he might be
The wild card.
Portugal's
But does he start?
saving grace. I think he needs to.
He needs to.
I think
You feel so as well?
I think Portugal's strongest lineup, if they really wanna, would be a 3-5-2, something along those lines, or 3-4-3 or something like that. But because they can't play with wingers, I don't think any of their wingers have had very good seasons. Pedro Neto,
Leao.
Stupid red card
but then
against
again,
Chile
there's
as well. From
Trincao,
dude.
But then there's Trincao, guys, who's also
Very tricky.
the bench
special.
player.
Very
Yeah.
tricky.
He's also, and then Conceição,
Yeah.
But I think maybe maybe they're gonna want to start Ronaldo. It's his last. Maybe you want to give him that full experience of being at the,
And that's where I think
that's where they might go
That's
wrong.
where I think when it goes around sentiment over and above the actual objective about winning the game and the
As
tournament.
a collective.
This is a guy that went on a podcast and said he doesn't dream of winning the World Cup. This is a guy that went on a podcast and said the World Cup is a game of 6-7 tournaments, whatever, 6-7 tournament game. That as someone who's in the Portugal camp, hearing my leader, my general, my soldier say something like that, I think would tick me off the wrong way, But if they play Ronaldo out of pure sentiment, they've lost the tournament.
You can argue that. I mean, overall, his record within the World Cup has not been the best.
It's not great, yeah.
He's not. Does he have? I think he has one goal, if zero, in the knockout stages of
Yeah, he
of
hasn't
the
scored
World
in
Cup.
knockout, yeah.
Zero, ne? And even in the group stages, it's not that good either. So he probably plays based of sentiment, but more than anything, he plays probably based of who he is, and that how the focus will shift to the fact that he's on the bench if he doesn't start, which is something that affected them in the 2022 the last World Cup.
Correct.
Very true.
When everything becomes about why Cristiano is not playing,
Yeah.
that is where the issue then thing comes about. So
It's like the same reason that we've got Neymar at Brazil.
at Brazil,
I think it was
similar.
more of a federation decision to warn Ancelotti to say, take him. You'd rather lose with him being there
Yeah, then win without.
or lose without him,
yeah.
because then it's gonna be a problem.
But then with the Neymar one, I think Ancelotti's CV gives him that allowance to say,
Sure,
I'm going
I
to make
can
the decision
leave you if
that
needs
works, that
be.
works best for the
Okay,
team.
yeah.
Whereas Martinez, not even coming from Portugal, he's going to have the entire nation of Portugal turning against them. Yeah, why are we getting these foreigners that don't understand the heritage of our football? Ronaldo has put Portugal on the map, etc., etc. So then you step into that territory of whereby, because you're not from the country as a coach now, you need to balance between getting the support of those people, because they're not going to support you based on the fact that you come from there, but they're supporting you based on the fact that you are playing to appease them as well. And at this current moment, no matter what we would like to say, as outsiders, I'm also in that's why I said my second citizenship thing.
Yeah.
I'm also in the Portugal camp, but you can't not have Cristiano from a Portuguese perspective. Those guys, they would rather first see him do bad as he did in the previous one, then accept the fact that, okay, coach, we want to win it now. Let's figure out a different way of going about it.
Quick answer. Do they finish top of their group with having Colombia, Uzbekistan, and DR Congo? Quick answer.
They finished top.
Yes.
Top.
In saying that,
Yes.
my ballers, last but not least, we go to 2022's finalists and 2018 winners, the team that I represent, the team that I support, my African export. I am excited for France, Le Bleu. Okay, Cote d'Ivoire beat us. Their first win in their history. Great goal by Doué's brother and Ahmed Diallo. Turkey. I see Mbappe, I see Ousmane, Ballon d'Or, Desiree Doué, brilliance. Mikel Olise, brilliance.
Just a stat
Turkey.
to throw the spanner. The last time France did lose a warm-up game, they didn't get out the group.
Yeah, here in South Africa.
Yeah, in South Africa.
Uh.
So, if you're that type of person of superstition and whatnot,
So when we were coming in, I said to him, I foresee, not that I foresee, but it's possible. There's the 2010 meltdown in
Yes.
their camp.
Yes.
What a
I don't know if
disaster.
you saw the clip with Kante and
Mbappe, not
Mbappe
handshaking.
not
yeah.
handshaking, what. Guys, I'm totally against, if you're the best player in the team, then you need to be captain.
Facts.
Some people are born leaders and
That's very
they know
true.
how to lead and they can lead a group. And me personally, Mbappe is a very self-centered individual. He's brilliant. He's the world's best. at the moment, but I don't think he's a full-on leader, you know. And some people also lead in different ways, you know. Some are they'll come and motivate and what. He'll probably just lead with his performance. He's probably gonna get the golden ball and what. But I am worried about that group staying together, especially if there is a shock game
Fallout,
where they draw or something happens and then
Senegal and Norway can pose that threat for them.
They don't have an easy group, France. Yeah, the group of all these
I
guys.
think they have the toughest.
They have a
group.
they have a very difficult group. But I think there's one team that's built for the stage. It's the French. Deschamps has really built the squad up from the ground up, man. This team is really
it's transitioned, yeah.
It's transitioned so well, but they're so, you know, he's one coach that's not afraid of making difficult decisions. I think maybe
100%.
that's where Southgate fell off with England. But Deschamps is that guy who just knows how to rally the squad. And Mbappe will be at the helm. Shirky's going to be a big factor. I think.
Does he start?
I think he has
question.
to start.
Does he start?
I think he has to start primarily because without him, there is a lack of creativity in the midfield. That's what I believe. Olise is there on the wing. Dembele might be on the wing. I'm not sure how that's going to factor in,
Also,
or if it's going to be Mbappe on the wing.
Guys, have you also thought that a lot of these guys are playing their first World Cup?
That's the next thing I was actually coming to with Doué being his debut, Olise being his debut at a World Cup, and Turkey, all of them coming off great seasons and having their first World Cup. How will they all integrate to be able to perform together? Because honestly, when I look at it, I feel like their biggest downfall may be themselves rather than them actually being beat. And if they are beat, it's probably at a deep stage, semi-final or final to other big hitters like a Spain or Argentina. But they're the ones that can kill themselves.
I think the Mbappe thing that Kel speaks on in terms of his ego is probably is going to be the biggest issue. When we look back to the last two World Cups where he did very, very well, top scorer in the last one, won the other one as well. I think he was probably up there as well with the goals in the first one as well. I think with the first one, what really carried him is him coming in as a teenager into it, knowing that, you know what, there's the big hitters here, your Griezmanns, your Girouds and all of that stuff. Your Pogbas. And then I think the 2022 one was more of a transition period of whereby he was kind of like slowly taking on that thing. And I think that period of where he was chosen as captain over Griezmann probably inflated his head a bit more than what we thought it would, because it kind of signaled to him that now I am that player for France, whereas I don't think at that period of time he was ready to be that captain, as Kel said. You know, I also don't really enjoy much in terms of from his leadership skills. I think I saw a Madrid game where he was telling the guys to come off the pitch. I think it was after the Barca game or something like that. Yeah. And those are the type of things that you don't want from a leader. You know, you don't want someone who wants to throw tantrums in the media whenever something slightly doesn't go well. And I think when you look at their squad right now, he is a good player and he's one of the greats, but he's not the greatest at the present moment. You've got the Ballon d'Or winner on your team who potentially is about to win the second one. Then you've got an Olise who is the competition to this person.
So
and then you've got a Turkey who has been very vocal in the media about how he does not care much about tactical whatnot and whatnot. He is a flair player that will not be told how to play his football.
Correct.
Pep tried it and then realized, you know what, I'm just going to let this guy be who he is. So you've got players around Mbappe right now in the front positions, not even
who
in
might
the back,
feel that they're better than him. So that's another thing.
So when they have when Olise has the ball in his feet, he's not looking for Mbappe. He says, I've done this thing. True. I think more than 20 times for Bayern. I think it's what 20. I think it's what 40 something.
I knocked out Real Madrid.
Yes,
also,
like
guys,
he was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with Doué, I think that boy, he deserves to start.
You see,
how do you bench Doué, guys?
There's space for only 3.
Yeah.
So who sits?
Who sits if
Mbappe
Doué
is the captain.
He's definitely starting.
Okay, let's try take away Usman
Ballon.
I'll be honest. I also say Turkey sits and we're adding another midfielder or moving Olise there. Because there's still Chomeni, there's Rabiot with legs who only performs for France. Like we don't see him for 4 years and then we see him at the World Cup.
Like an Ochoa.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Kante is still there. Kone from a brilliant season with Roma. If you're saying you're starting Doué, provided Dembele doesn't have any injury problems and Mbappe is starting, I guess that's the only answer.
And just on Rabiot, I see there's a big question on social media. Who's this guy's agent? It's his mom.
Yeah.
It's his mother. And apparently she's very vocal and she, like, if he doesn't start, there will be an uproar as why is Rabiot not playing?
I've always said two of the players who've had the greatest agents, Rabiot and Chipo Moting. How Chipo Moting has that
And
career
Bayern
with those
PSG.
clubs.
Yeah.
You know, but my ballers, that's how we end off
And then you go
today's match day. France, Mbappe meta. Portugal, Ronaldo meta. Brazil, Neymar meta.
Ish.
Continue to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, live long.
But like guys, the man can only do so much.